Welcome on our weekly community meeting. I'm glad to see you all of you here. Happy New Year, the first meeting in this year. I have to repeat every time that we have Telegram channel, Telegram group where you can join and ask no questions. We also have Slack group in official Kubernetes Slack. Just find it like hashtag Cozystack. And as usual, I ask, do we have any new members on this week who didn't introduce yourself previously? If you want to introduce yourself, just a few words about yourself, you can do that right now.
Hey, I can say a few words about myself. I'm new in the Cozystack and I'm happy to join to your community. Actually, about me, I'm more than 15 years in IT and I guess last 5 years in the DevOps field. Now I'm a part of the Global Dots company. It's an Israel company. Actually, it's not a local Israel company. It's a global company. I have some certificates like AWS certificate, Kubernetes certificates. Also, I'm a teacher in some IT courses. Sometimes I write some articles, and yeah.
That's so cool. Thank you for joining. I'll just post a link to the doc. Yeah, somebody else joined, but without microphone. So next time you can introduce yourself next time. We usually have such meetings. So anybody who join, and they usually put their names in this list. Then we go over agenda and switch to open floor to have some discussions. So today I would like to introduce a new release, Cozystack 21. We have a lot of new features there. Actually, we reworked the dashboard. I'm going to demonstrate it right now. So the dashboard gets reworked. Now the catalog shows exact kinds with which you work. You can work through the Kubernetes API. So for now, since now dashboard doesn't work with Plug CD resources directly, it works through our API that allows you to configure granular access using OEDC, and you can say that some users can have access to create virtual machines, but have no access to create databases. We actually also reward the applications page. Here you can see those applications get deployed, the prefixes for them get removed. Because if we work with Helm releases, they always have some prefixes. If it's Redis, it has prefix, Redis prefix. If it's Kubernetes, it has Kubernetes prefix. Now this dashboard works directly with our API resources, so prefixes get removed, and you can work with dashboard the same way as with our API. That means that now you can give this dashboard to the end users and don't be afraid that they will create some wrong Helm releases. Now you can be sure that they always be restricted to the specific APIs you allow to use. That's it. We also added the authentication for Redis authorization. Now every application which you deploy, every Redis application which you deploy gets automatically password enabled, and this password is automatically generated, which you can see in the dashboard. Also a few fixes for OpenAPI, which enables Terraform compatibility. Now you can create and manage your infrastructure through the Terraform. Also updated our documentation. So you can get the information how exactly it works, Cozystack API. Here are all the resources we support. You can also add your own just by modifying the config map. And here is example, how can you deploy the Postgres? Actually, what was valued before now moved to spec, and application version can be specified alongside this API version. And here is example of the same resource created through the Terraform. So the flow is following. You can create user in your OEDC server, actually in Keycloak, then download kubeconfig file, give it to them, and then they will be able to use Terraform or Kube API to create the resources. What else? Also small fixes. We almost get 1,000 stars on GitHub. That's very cool. There are 3 stars missing, so please put your stars. You can be 1,000. Evgeny, do you have a question?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Can I put more than 1 star?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. You can register new account on GitHub and give more stars. Oh, we already have 2 left. Okay. The next topic is that we submitted a new request for joining Cozystack to CNCF. Actually, we already on a CNCF landscape. This idea is to move the Cozystack under Sandbox. That means that the Cozystack will be developed under CNCF organization and will follow all the rules. We just need your support. If you can just put your finger up, thumb up, that might be useful. I don't know, maybe not, but just for your information. And what really can help, if you really use Cozystack, please submit PR that you're using it in our adopters file, because CNCF committee will check how many users use this product, and if we will have more users, that might be really useful for submitting it to CNCF. According to this, we also updated our governance. So we added more community members to the maintaining Cozystack. Actually, we have Kingdom joined to maintaining Flux CD and Flux CD operator. Actually, Flux CD subsystem of Cozystack. The core of Cozystack is Flux CD, and it's very important to have it up to date. We also mentioned few maintainers of etcd operator, which we develop as part of Cozystack. This etcd operator is used to store the data for your Kubernetes clusters. And we also mentioned guys who actually support platform documentation and Cozystack website marketing and community activities. That's it. Also, we prepared something interesting for you. It's a roadmap for 2025. So here are 4 quarters, actually 5. Fifth is 2026. And here are core epics which we're going to implement in a while. So the features such as public access for Cozystack for end users we already implemented. So we can shift it to the left because we have Q1 for now. We already have OEDC integration. Now we are going to improve tenant isolation, and we're also going to the opportunity to configure communication between the tenants. So for the tenant, you can also specify with which exactly tenant it can communicate, and then network communication will be enabled between them. We also working for now for implementing billing system. Unfortunately, this billing system will be implemented as part of enterprise subscription version. But some parts of this billing system will be still in open source. It will not allow you to calculate the final information, but it will provide you some useful information about applications, replicas. Actually, I'll show you that soon. We are going to add GPU support in Q1 and NUMA support for virtual machines, improve virtual management, and add such options like you could connect to the virtual machine over VNC through the dashboard. I think we will add it soon. We are going to add it up to Q2. Also, we are going to fix topology and affinity settings for the applications in Q1. The new Cozystack UI probably we almost done this existing dashboard. The new dashboard will be developed as part of maybe the end of this year. They're considering to use some existing framework like OpenShift console or something like that. One of the required features which many people asking for is to choose exact versions for every application. So you'll be able to choose Kubernetes version, Postgres version, and any application version actually deployed in Cozystack. And this is planned for Q2. Also, we have plans for adding additional IDP bundle. IDP is internal developer platform. The main idea here that we will add GitLab, Harbor, and various software needed for software development, and some hooks which would allow you to easily push your code to the Git, and it will be automatically deployed in Cozystack with all the services required, like databases, Kubernetes, and things like that. There is a question from the chat. Is there any idea to provide Cube OVN on the customer? Like customer can create own VPCs, subnet, and load balancer. I think for now we don't have plans for adding support this. The main reason that we want to have stick in native Kubernetes networking approach with flat networking and rely on eBPF for isolation. So I'm not really sure if we will add additional interfaces like it is done in OpenShift and Rancher. It will bring some functionality for us because the ordinary things like Kubernetes load balancers and policy enforcement will not be working with that. So this is a good topic for discussion. For now, I don't see really sense for doing this as for now. So we plan to release version 1.0. That actually means that we will stabilize all the APIs, and API will not be changing anymore up to Q2 of 2025. We have plans for adding backup system for backing up your S3 storage, databases, and PDCs. This backup system will most probably be based on Velero. Not sure how it will be configured. We actually need to find. We need to write architectural design before it gets implemented. So many questions unsolved here. There is no problem to bring Velero, but there is always question how you configure it and give it to the user. Also, audit log for Q2. I think distroless images, that's not very important, but very cool security improvement. I think we will do it till the end of the year. Grafana dashboard with SLA availability for every service plan for Q2. Also, we are going to enable automatic Cozystack updates. That means that you can configure the release channel, like stable or experimental one, and then system will update automatically, will be updated automatically. Of course, we are going to add update windows. That means that we can say that Cozystack should update itself only in the night, for example, or you would able to specify if you want to update only patch releases or if you want to update feature releases as well. So this is for third quarter of 2025. And finally, we are going to decompose Cozystack. That means that Cozystack will be switched to be only the framework for running the applications and infrastructure services. And all the applications we have right now, they will be moved for, this will be moved to the separate repository, which will be able to connect. So that's more likely looks like plugin system or Arch Linux user repository where you could prepare your own plugins connected to Cozystack, and then you can enable service for your users this way. The question from Nikita is billing code base will be open sourced. It will not be open sourced, at least for now, because the billing is one of the selling points which help us to sell this enterprise support, enterprise version, actually, to get money for the further development. Sorry for that. We still need to have money for hire more engineers and do cool stuff for you. That's it. And as about billing, the core of the billing would be Cozystack-controller. The Cozystack-controller will be open source. It is already on main branch, and it will be released on the next version. And now I'm going to show you how exactly it works and what exactly it brings to us. So the main idea now that we had such fancy dashboard, but it didn't show application status. Now we decided to implement Cozystack-controller, which would collect the information from every pod's running and show it like this. We actually added workload controller. Workload, it actually introduced two types of API resources in Kubernetes, workload monitor and workloads. In workload controller, you can specify, in workload monitor, you can specify what exactly you want to monitor, which pods you want to monitor, and how many replicas it should consist from, the minimum amount of replicas and the normal amount of replicas. And now it will generate your status map like this. The important stuff that some applications can have automatic scaling. For example, Kubernetes, we never know which amount of replicas is required for worker group. And in this way, it will just collect all the pods running under the labels and provide this information in such way. So we updated our dashboard again. We added this status map, and now I'm going to show you how exactly it looks like in the API. So we have workloads. Every workload has its own kind and its own type, because various applications can have various type of workload. For example, Redis application, it has two types of workload. It's actually Redis replicas and Sentinel. Actually, the same information will be used by billing system, our future billing system, or provide the usage stats. So this part will be open sourced. it is in the main already, and how those workloads get created. Yeah, let's see how it looks like for the specific resource. It has just metadata and status. It collects what the kind, if it's operational or not. It maps directly from the pod status, if it's ready or not, and what amount of resources it uses. It will check some virtual machine workload. It will also add additional devices like KVM, and virtual machine uses GPU. The GPU also will be added here and calculated the same flow like CPU time and memory. If you want to create such workload, we have workload monitor. And we have already pre-created workload monitors for every applications you deploy through the Cozystack. Actually, in every workload monitor, you can specify for which pods it should be looking for. Pretty the same logic like in every Kubernetes controller. So the question from the chat, how could we be sure that this is actual data, not the stale one? I don't use timestamp in status field to understand it. I don't see it. That's actually the work of Cozystack-controller. I think for now we have no. That might be good improvement for adding it into status, like last transition time, to see if this data is actual. That makes sense. Thank you, Gero. Yeah. It could just fall. I think we will add status fields in a while. So for now, this implementation will go in the next release. The main idea here that we have workload monitor, which selects specific workload and specify resource and get resources from resources limits. And there is also an opportunity to override those resources by annotation. And finally, in dashboard, you can see it in status map plugin. Also, we did some work for supporting the next version of Talos. I know many people expecting that we support it, but currently it is not supported. The last version of Talos is 1.9.1. And it has few issues. According to them, their ZFS isn't working. They're missing QDEF rules. And also, it automatically maps Linux file system, which confuses kube. So it makes it not possible to run virtual machines. We already reported those issues to the upstream, and they solved that. Just didn't cut the release. So I think in a while it will be prepared, I guess, on the next week. And after Talos 1.9.2 will be released, we also release the Cozystack with all the features I showed you right now. That's probably it. If you have any questions, please put them right now. Okay, no questions. So in this way, we can switch to OpenFlare, and there are two options, two discussions. The first one, probably from Kirill, is suggestion for start supporting Gateway API. And I think we can think a little bit what things it will bring to us in comparison with existing drinks ingress, and what actually how much time it will take to rework the whole system for supporting Gateway API instead. So actually, I have no any experience with Gateway API anymore yet. I think one of the interesting points which we willing to support is SNI headers. That would means that we can expose some database externally and handle this traffic from the packets. Does anybody know if it's supported by Gateway API? Okay, maybe any ideas of how it would be difficult to replace JIX ingress with Gateway API? Something wrong with my headphones, or nobody says nothing?
I have lots of opinions, but I don't know enough about Gateway API to have anything really solid to contribute to this. I know we've built some really nice things in the Nginx ingress that allow pass-through in a way such that the tenant clusters can actually support their own cert managers with a single external IP, and I'm using that, and it's very useful.
Interesting. How exactly it works? I guess this is thanks to support SNI.
You figured this out. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I found I posted a link about it a week or two ago in GitHub when I was diagnosing a related issue, and I found a spelling error or something.
Interesting. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other thoughts about Gateway API implementation?
Hi, what do you want to know particularly?
Actually, how it would be difficult to replace existing JIX ingress? Should we do this, or should we support both options?
Short answers, yes, you should replace, because Gateway API is the future. It has a cleaner and better syntaxes than typical ingress object in Kubernetes, and it is the reason why Gateway API was developed. So it covers more use cases, it has rich features, it could be better manageable than just ingress, because you remember you need to put vendor-specific notations on ingress objects, which would be handled by different ingress controllers in different ways. So it becomes a mess, and in fact, ingress objects are not portable between different clusters. So Gateway API makes some unification attempt. Yes, it's not like 100% successful, because different Gateway API controller supports a different set of features of Gateway API. But generally, I think that it was moving to it, and from my personal point of view, I really like it. So, and it's not very difficult to migrate, because all ingress vanilla specifications, I'm not talking about annotations, only about basic functions like setting up port number, like PaaS type, like setting up service or SSL or TLS termination. Everything is supported by Gateway API, and it would be easy to write some kind of converter. Even Gateway API controllers support ingress objects out from the box, so it makes migration much more easy. Unfortunately, there is a disadvantage, because not many upstream projects like Victoria Metrics, Headlamp, or anything else support Gateway API publishing method out of the box. So you will need to either commit to these projects and explain that we need this support, or otherwise to use some kind of wrapper to have a seamless experience for the users of Cozystack.
Very clear. Thank you.
So if summarize what I told, the most important thing would be not just like to make a decision that we need to migrate to Gateway API, but even to choose which Gateway API controller would be the most suitable for Cozystack distribution. And I bet it should be Envoy Gateway.
Yeah, I just have worries that supporting multiple options might be more difficult to actually, if you have 2 or more solutions, it will become a mess to supporting it.
What
So
do
I
you
would
mean?
rather-
What do you mean? Do you mean that you will need to support both options like Ingress and Gateway API at the same moment, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I don't want to do. So if we switch to Gateway API, it would be nice to prepare all the applications, start using Gateway API. And I
Yes,
think for
I
now,
agree.
and I
Yes.
think for now it's a good point to start because we will add external access to the databases soon. And if I understand it well, Gateway API can solve it easier than Ænix, which is supporting just HTTP and HTTPS.
Yes, and if we would like to answer the first question from this role, like does Gateway API support SNI, depending on implementation, it would be probably yes. So you need to choose a proper controller. I checked, and it for Envoy Gateway, it's working.
Thank you. And one of the questions, if it can send really detailed metrics, because for now we have really cool dashboard from Ænix, which shows you status map for every URL and every status code get responded. That's not official Ænix, it's actually Ænix is our module. But I would like to see there are any extended monitoring opportunities for Gateway API.
Again, it depends on controller, but one of the goals of Gateway API was to like enhance the monitoring and gives more visibility in what's going on inside of Nginx controller. So just one example. Right now, as I remember, Nginx Ingress controller does not allow you to get the metrics for every particular endpoint. So what I mean, like every particular endpoint. So when you are writing Ingress object, yeah, it could point to different services or even different paths, but under them there could be several endpoints, and unfortunately in vanilla Ingress you cannot distinguish between them on metrics level, so they would be aggregated into like by Ingress object.
Yeah, this is correct. They have not official Ænix, which also takes time for supporting it, but it actually have really cool dashboard and shows you detailed information. This varnish map, for example, for endpoint, for domain name, you can split. Actually, not sure if I
Yes, but I'm talking about like more detailed information, like customers asking guys, could you like make the selection of the like top 10 slowest requests, not only by Ingress kind, yeah, but also which particular request, which parameters was called like post get type verb of HTTP, even like which parameters were put into the body of the request. So right now, unfortunately, I think it would be a mess to get such a.
Yeah, we have such information. Like those dashboards are not supported by official Ænix. The slowest requests.
Yes, but not aggregating by Ingress.
Yeah. It should be possible to filter it by host name.
Again, it's not enough. Host name is okay, but I talked with many like customers, and they want to have like more detailed data.
Not sure what can be more detailed than here.
Again, not upstream, not the name of upstream, but a particular request. Like if you are using tracing, you will understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can specify location. You can specify.
Yes, but it's not. Look, it's not location in terms of endpoint of the service. Yeah, it's like what is written inside of Ingress itself.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's it.
Yes, but it's not enough.
Yeah, understand this.
So it gives a customer understanding which service is slow, yeah, but he does not understand what particular endpoint inside of his application is slow, because usually applications expose multiple endpoints like login, logout, I don't know, get one type of data, get another type of data. So with this dashboard, you can narrow down only to a slow service, not to a slow endpoint inside of this service.
Our dashboard supporting this. And you can filter it by the endpoint, not in terms of Kubernetes service, but you can specify exactly the path you're requesting for.
Just show, because in the typical
You
dashboard
don't
in
believe
Nirvana,
me.
I did not found such a function.
Let's
So okay,
try to do this.
I think we can stop at this moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just highlighting that this feature should be like very obvious to customers how to work with it.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I think it should be working right here. You can specify location.
No. I checked many times, and if it's like a standard or a little bit reward dashboard, it won't work.
We have additional exporter for exporting this information. The official Ænix does not do this.
I understand, yeah.
Well, okay. So I just telling that it would be nice to have this from this information from the API, and I guess Envoy can export this, but we need to check if it's sufficient to have at least the same detailed dashboards like we have right now. That's it. I would ask somebody from community, if you're interested in this, you can do some research and suggest your implementation. So if you're interested in doing this job from the community side, just let me know, and we will guide you what to do next. You can write in chat, or you can specify it. Actually, just write it down in the Cozystack chat in Telegram or Slack. The question from Ruben: if hosts are equipped with multiple network interfaces card, can we establish separate network specifically for link store? Yes, for now it is supported. If I remember well, it can be configured directly from link store API, so you can specify which IP address from which network every node should use. And then it will start using this. It can be done at any time, even on working cluster, because DRBD can reconfigure connections without downtime. And we have also one more discussion. Do we really need to support other operating systems, not only Talos Linux?
Please clarify your question, because it's like very wide. So are you talking about like only main cluster, right?
Yeah, I'm talking only about main cluster, because for now we stick to the Talos Linux. We not hardly dependent on using only Talos Linux, but we can also consider preparing support for other distributions like Ubuntu, CentOS, and maybe something else.
I would vote against like reasoning is very simple. So if we will look into OpenShift, Tanzu, or like, I don't know, Nutanix, or any other major vendor of Kubernetes, it supplies Kubernetes as a box, so black box. So users, customers should not never touch what it's inside. They take it all, or they are just not using this solution at all. On the other hand, if you want to support like Ubuntu, CentOS, I don't know anything else, it would imply a very large maintenance costs, because every operating system has its own like peculiarities, settings, I don't know, upgrade process, yeah, and you will face very strange issues which were introduced by a particular operating system version, and even more, it will decouple the life cycle of operating system and Cozystack, and it again would be a disaster in terms of maintenance, because nobody would be sure that this particular version of operating system is supported by a particular version of Cozystack, and you will need to provide the proper migration path for all the components. So, so if there is no particular demand in it, I would like just to like throw away this request.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's the question: is what's the demand? Is there some actual customer who wants this? Like, I could see prioritizing a specific distribution like EKS if there was someone waiting for that. But anyway, my vote would be to support EKS if we could.
Here, that somebody can be blocked by implementing Talos Linux in their infrastructure. Actually, the huge enterprises, they don't really like to have various distros that then they use already. So I just think
I think I would add to this because I have a different experience. When I worked in Raiffeisen, I understood that all these like limitations could be avoided. So let's say Raiffeisen used Tanzu because it's a part of VMware offering. Yeah, Tanzu is built on top of, I don't know, like Ubuntu 16. Oh my God, guys, it's awful because it's really old operating system, and the guys just accepted all risks that it implied. Yeah, because they never touched the base operating system. So if you if we are like supplying Cozystack as a out of the box solution with some security controls, changing the operating system on the bottom of the stack would mean that we could not guarantee anything, even security things.
We have hand raised from Johan.
Yeah, it's Eugene, it's Zhenya, it's same. Okay, so my question is, so for my point of view, that I'm experienced in network engineer, but not so experienced in Kubernetes. And the question is that it is a bit linked to Talos and other distribution, because as a newcomer, I feel that I need sometimes to have a possibility to use the shell inside, only to see what's going on inside. It's maybe my old some pain, which it's maybe not DevOps way, right? But and that's maybe opinion that if I don't understand what's going on, then with Talos I could not see anything.
Look, I'm totally understand your like considerations, yeah. But first of all, Talos exposes some nice options how to run debug containers on top of it, yeah. In case if worker node is still alive and accessible via API. But if again we will discuss like out of the box solutions like Tanzu, I don't know, even Amazon Outpost, you don't have such a advantage to SSH into it.
Yeah, I understand, but when we run bare metal, we have more different, because we need to see what's going with hardware. For example, now we have in the cluster test deploying, we have 2 network adapters which we could not put in port channel, and that means that for example, my question is, can we change the Kubernetes endpoint after the deployment or no?
Yes, you can.
So this IP is not hardcore. So what we are specifying in first YAML, this is in the beginning, it could be changed at any time, right?
Everything could be changed, but there are some limitations. So if you will try to move a cluster to a completely new subnet, there could appear some issues because how Talos is designed. So if you are not like breaking etcd cluster inside of cluster, Kubernetes cluster, yeah, everything would be fine. But the same considerations could apply if you are trying like upscale and downscale regular Kubernetes cluster built with kubespace. So not all operations are like allowed. So you can do them, nobody will restrict you, but they will result in some broken configurations.
I will tell you why I'll come to this question, because we deploy the cluster in such configurations that after the configuration, we supposed to use BGP to have dynamic announcing of the IP addresses. And we suppose that in the beginning that we will have private addresses for the nodes and Kubernetes endpoint, and now we have to change the endpoint to public address because we're going to provide the Terraform access to it for the customers. And that's
actually sorry, please go ahead.
That was a reason. So we can reinstall cluster. But if we could do that without reinstall, and also, okay, I will now assign a special small subnet to the single this endpoint, but I still have plans to announce all other customer IPs via BGP protocol, and so I see that so it's not so flexible from network point because I'm maybe more advanced networking, but from another point, all modern data centers, they have latest architecture, which is simply you have switches with BGP routing protocol, and you connecting the host to it, and you have either static assignment or you have BGP protocol, and BGP is much more flexible. And in with Cozystack, we always should assign a static networks, then we should build the BGP, and we have this mix. And this is not so maybe flexible. Maybe it's not important. Maybe it's only my point of view because I'm maybe so focused.
Okay, I got it. So it looks like that you need some way to break into Talos nodes and make the reconfiguration. So it could be done with IPMI or what is built on top of IPMI. I think Andrei could tell you more. Like I know there is a Redfish protocol. Yeah. It's what OpenShift uses for configuring metal nodes. Yeah. So your use case is really very narrow, but I would be very happy if you could describe it in some comprehensive way so everybody would understand what you want to achieve. And if it's on Talos side, and it could be implemented on Talos side, like adding some additional APIs to Talos itself, I think we can try to negotiate with Talos developers to implement it.
Anyway, we're also contributing some features to Talos, so there is no issues with that.
Okay, so maybe I would like to ask if someone can answer that. If anyone else interested in BGP, if it's only one person, then maybe it's not so vital, and we will stick with that static BGP combination. But if you see.
Yes, we are interested, but BGP could be used in a different way. So you told that you have like many tenants, and you need to provide an Terraform API access to your customers. So probably it's the key because, like for me, I'm using BGP for another things.
Okay, can you tell your case? Maybe I don't know. If I look on that from different side. So I'm very interested in how you're using BGP with Cozystack.
So we are just using it for making load balances not highly available, but fault tolerant.
Yeah, that's also our point. because BGP provides all of that, but it also allows you to dynamically, you're adding the pool to the Cozystack, and you assign specific IP without any subnet limitation. And is this specific /32 IP began to announce, and the service to Cozystack began to work dynamically without network reconfiguration. You didn't touch the switches, you didn't touch network infrastructure, and that's from the point of view of network engineers. This is quite convenient. But if it is not the critical, and we should stick like with AWS, that cluster is behind there is a gateway between cluster and outside world, and these nodes, it's like not so flexible. Maybe it's not very not many requests about that, and we will stick simply with current capabilities. But that was my question.
I would say that everything which you can configure in ordinary Linux distribution, you can configure in Talos Linux as well. There is no issue to configure BGP peering in Talos because it's the same Linux. And it's not different, it's just the same kernel, there is just no shell, but you can always get shell using no shell plugin for debug cases. The only difficult could be if you have no cluster access, if you have no access to the node, it might be really difficult to debug.
Yeah,
but if you have,
I've already used it, all of these capabilities, tried that, and it is. But the Kubernetes endpoint is not. It's not about BGP. It's configured before, and it is not. So it could be changed, but you're telling that there will be some consequences because.
Yes, but why you need to change it? Because if you will use a Talos, you can use a so-called virtual IP, and it would be a floating IP between a set of, like, let's say, master or control plane nodes. Otherwise, you can use a DNS approach.
Yeah, but sometimes the BGP allows you to simply change it. Okay. I've got the opinion, so it's popular, but not so popular like we are network engineers looking at all that.
Yes, so if you can describe your case very comprehensively, first of all, we could try to find guys who have the same considerations and same issues and collaborate and make some good proposal, I don't know, to Cozystack or even to Talos.
Okay, so I will think about it.
Yeah, if you need to have some specific feature, it's always good to create an issue and describe in the format. Hey, I'm Cozystack as Cozystack administrator, I want my nodes to be booted to the Pixie, for example, from Pixie server. If you looking at this from the user perspective, you can describe it. Hey, as Cozystack user, I want to manage my applications through the Terraform. So just try to think it like this and post it like what exactly you want to get, and we'll try to arrange it and consider if we can do something about this.
Okay, understood. So issue is a way to create some request and discuss them later.
Yeah, we have discussions on GitHub. You can also discuss it in Telegram chat. Or
I know. Yeah, of course. I'm on all chats, but I thought that my request is sort of specific.
Anyway, if your requests are quite specific, it's always good to ask because you will find a way how to do that differently.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, then we have hand raised from Nikita.
Yeah, I have a few words about this issue. So I think that a request to support a different distribution would sometimes be present. I think from maybe commercial customers or something. So I suggest that we figure out how could we maybe give it to customers So if a customer wants his distributions, there is a way from Cozystack to, there is a number of, I don't know, tests or something for a customer to run. And in this way, he could support his own distribution if he wants it.
Yeah.
So for example, particular version of Kubernetes, particular version of some static pods or something, a number of tests, and if they all pass, all tests are green, so that the worker node is okay, and all other stuff is customers' jobs to implement.
I think we should go the approach when we will write documentation. How can you build your own Cozystack and using existing the existing approach, existing controllers and things like that. That would allow you to create your own distribution. And that's a good idea to provide some common tests to check if it's working as expected or not. And also the third thing which we have to think about is white labeling. We're also going to add a white labeling option for Cozystack, so you can, if you build your own distribution of Cozystack, you could replace all the logos and provide to put there the name of different systems. Some components can be developed in tree, like core components, Cozystack-controller, Cozystack API. But there should be an opportunity to build your own Cozystack. And I think we will work in this way as well. If somebody from community interested in supporting this, we can just write it down and we will guide you what to do in this field. Well, that's it. Time is up. Thank you for joining. See you next week, same time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Andrei. Bye. And all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.